When should politicians call it quits? Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell have been in the game a long time, seemingly forever, doing whatever they can to run the show and steer the country in a direction that isn't necessarily what Americans want. And I'm being nice here. Curious about how long they've been in office? Nancy Pelosi has been in Congress since 1987, over 37 years as of 2024. Mitch McConnell has been a senator since 1985, which is nearly 40 years as of 2024. But lately, both have had public stumbles, Pelosi with a life-threatening hip injury and McConnell freezing mid-sentence multiple times. And yet here they are, refusing to step back. Pelosi's clinging to her seat in Congress, and McConnell adamantly refuses to give up his position despite the gaffes. It's hard to watch. It often makes me cringe. This isn't what the Founding Fathers intended, was it? Why can't these guys exercise some restraint and grace the way Ron Paul, one of my personal heroes, did? It almost seems like elder abuse, doesn't it? Nobody wants to see that, regardless of your political views. But for those of us on the sidelines, which is basically anyone not part of the elite DC crowd, it raises an uncomfortable question. When is it time to say enough? More than ever before, the topic of term limits is once again being thrust into the spotlight. The logic? Younger folks understand today's challenges a bit better. On the flip side, others insist experience is irreplaceable. Pelosi and McConnell represent decades of political savvy, a mastery of the machine that can steer the ship even in turbulent times. That's what supporters of their never-ending terms want us to think, at least. I personally think the well has long been poisoned, and politicians' own interests often precede the interests of everyday Americans. Corruption, lies, secrets, backroom deals are prevalent whenever we're surrounded by career politicians who enrich themselves. Take Pelosi, for example. She earns an annual salary of $174,000. That's a good salary, sure. But how is it possible that her actual net worth is over $240 million? That doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up, and it implies a lot of foul play, doesn't it? But back to the topic of term limits. Do we need fresh faces to reimagine the future, or does the old guard's expertise outweigh their years? Should politicians have an expiration date, or do we let seasoned veterans lead until they step down on their own terms? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for subscribing and liking my content. I really do enjoy learning along with all of you, and I personally respond to all comments.